Good evening, Palm Bay. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another round of interviews. And tonight, I have the distinct pleasure of having a dynamic couple in the house with me. And they have been making their rounds on social media for a while. I've been following them. And they are Amber and Anthony Yantz. And so I'm going to bring them on a platform here in a second. But before I begin, I know we can do better than this. So I'm going to invite everyone, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, do all of the above. Let's get these algorithms moving in our favor. We want to get the message out about Amber and Anthony being on the show tonight with me, and they're going to have to answer to my line of questionings. They're going to be in the line of fire tonight. So I need your favor. I need to see these numbers going up. So hit the like button, hit the share button, show your support for me, and let me know that if I'm doing a good job in interviewing these candidates. I need you to increase this count. I know we can do better than this, Palm Bay. So a lot of work goes into putting together these shows, and so I need your support. And what just happened? Hold on, folks. If you can still hear me, I think we just had a power surge. Um, okay. Welcome to Palm Bay Live, celebrating 2 years in business. Bear with me. I have a power surge in my ear, so I'm not sure what happened. So give me a second here. Let me get it back together. Hold on one second. I apologize for that. I apparently had a power surge in my area, and my lights flickered, and everything went down. But we're moving on. To God be the glory. We're still here. Can you still guys still hear me?
We
Yes,
can.
we can.
Okay, beautiful. And so I was in the process of introducing you guys, and then my lights start flickering in my house. So that tells me something is happening in the neighborhood. So here we are. Uh,
Kevin, we
yeah,
are electrifying.
yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. That's what it is. Thanks for putting it in context for me. All right. I was in the middle of introducing Amber and Anthony again. The numbers were moving in our direction, and I need you guys' help to help keep those numbers moving in direction. Keep share the live, get it up and running, so we can get others to know about their candidacy. Amber is running for the Brevard County School Board seat number 3, right?
Yes, I
And
am.
and Anthony, you're running for state representative district number 33. And
That's right.
so how I'm going to do this interview tonight, they say ladies before gentlemen. And so I'm going to start off with Amber, and then we're going to go to Anthony. And so with that said, um, this is how the line of questions. And then audience, you have the opportunity to pose questions to the candidates. And I already told Anthony today, I suspect this interview is going to run over an hour. So I need you to, I know you must have questions for them. So you're going to have two opportunities to interact with them. You can call in, right? And you can also place your questions in the comments, and I'll pose it to them at the appropriate time. But let me get through some of my questions first, and then we can get to that situation where you can start interacting with them. Again, please like and share the live. Okay, Amber, and I want you to introduce yourself to the public. Not a lot of folks know about you. I mean, folks in your hemisphere may know about you. So I know of Anthony, and Anthony is always active, and I see him around the area from time to time when I do get out of my house. So Amber, introduce yourself to the public. Who are you? What you're about? Why are you running for this seat?
Yes. So, like you said, I am Amber Yantz. I am running for Brevard County School Board District 3. I am a mother and I have 5 children that attend BPS schools. I have always been a volunteer within our schools. I have been present for the past 10 years, and it just fills my heart with joy every time that I get the opportunity to go into school and help out with whatever it is that they need. Right now, I do currently serve on 3 school advisory councils, and that is amazing. I get to be a part of decision making, and it's just great. Another thing that I do is I'm a part of Brevard Children in Need, and that is through Space Coast Realtors Association. I have been a realtor in Palm Bay for the past 8 years, and I do love selling real estate. And that's pretty much sums up me. A lot of you may know me from being in the background of this guy's shadow, but I decided that it was my time to step up and try to make a positive change.
And thanks for that introduction. Thank you for that introduction. So, um, give me your perspective. Give me your thoughts on the Guardian program, Amber. The Guardian program has just started, and we're going to run right into the hot topics, right?
All right,
Right
I'm
into the
here
hot
for it.
topics. So, you opposed to this program, and which allows civilians to be trained and armed in schools? And can you explain your concerns, if any, in regards to this program?
Sure. So I am against the Guardian program. I was actually, the day that it was voted for at the school board meeting, I was there and I was sitting in the audience, and my biggest fear happened. We are now allowing volunteers to carry guns around our children. Um, yes, they do have to go through a training. However, the person that's doing the training is not going to be held liable, responsible for the training that they provide, which is a problem. I'm afraid that this opens BPS up to a huge liability. Studies have shown that it's never a good idea to introduce more guns around children. That's actually how injuries happen more frequently. I believe that we need to focus more on mental health within our students. A lot of our issues with an active shooter happens from within. So that's a problem that we need to be looking into. Some people would say that the state is for it, the sheriff is for it. And if that is so, if the state feels so strongly about this program, then it needs to be state funded and not funded by our school board. I've also heard about the element of surprise being appealing. And my personal feeling is if that was the case, then our SROs, they should be in civilian clothing. They're not. They're in a uniform. It also brings up an additional challenge when, if there is a situation at school, the local police station is going to be called anyway. So we are going to be now wasting time identifying who is a threat and who is not a threat. Just all the way around, I feel like this is a big liability and it's not needed. And the focus is not where it needs to be. It needs to be in mental health.
Thanks for your response to that. Let's keep it going. Um, you advocate for more social workers and guidance counselors in District 3 schools. How do you plan to achieve this, and what impact do you believe it will have on students' well being and academic success?
Well, we definitely do need more guidance counselors, more social workers within our schools. We have to be able to get to the root causes that our students are facing. I believe that if we're able to do that, then we will alleviate a lot of discipline problems, maybe a lot of mental wellness for our children. They could be facing a difficult situation at home that we don't know about. So I feel like that's going to alleviate some stress for the teachers as well. And I think that the only way that we're going to be able to achieve this is with more funding from the state. So that is where we need to push back as a school board, and we need to say, hey, we want to address these issues. We have a plan, and we're asking for more funding. That's funding, I guess, is what it comes down to.
All right. Okay. All right. Pre-K. Uh, Ensuring early access to literacy and quality VPK programs is one of your platforms. What specific initiatives will you implement to improve early childhood education in Brevard County? And then,
VP.
and 1 second, let's talk about the funding aspects as well. All
Okay.
right.
So VPK is a great free service that we provide to our students. It is a way to get books in the hands of children at an early age, getting them reading and learning their letters and their numbers, and that's only going to help them, bridge the gap in achievement. Funding is another issue. A lot of our classes are filled for VPK, so we do need to expand that program, and I feel like that is going to help close the gaps in the educational achievement.
Amber, do you think teachers are being paid enough? A simple
No,
question.
no, honestly, they are not. If you look at the numbers, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I believe our teachers here on the Space Coast are getting paid, gosh, I want to say $8,000 less than what the average teacher pay is just for the state of Florida. And then let's also throw in the fact that we're last in the nation for teacher pay. I don't understand how people can't see that that's an issue. How does our governor not understand this? We are actually spending more money on the voucher program than what we are spending for raises for our teachers. That is a big issue.
Right. So, with that said, housing affordability is my next line of question because with lack of pay, how can you afford the houses? And if you've been following my interviews for the last couple of weeks, that's been my torn of contention because when I ask candidates running for office, it's like, what we're going to do when we have a situation where right now a 1 bedroom apartment in Brevard County is running somewhere around $2,400 a month. That's pretty much a mortgage payment for a home. So, and now we have these teachers who are not getting paid enough. And where are we going to put them? Where are they going to live? Okay. So, that's my question to you. What would you do to ensure that teachers have affordable housing? What can you do as a somebody that's going to be sitting on the dais?
Well, I can tell you what I'm not going to do. I've heard a lot of chatter, and I don't really want to mention names, but it's
Hmm.
someone that's also in a race, school board race, that affordable housing should be provided to teachers on BPS land. That idea to me is just insulting. We should be paying our teachers as the professionals as they are. They are teaching our future generations. If there is one profession that is important, and that is the profession of a teacher, we're talking future generations. Anthony and I were actually having a conversation last night after a forum that I was on about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And the first step is making sure that you have enough money to survive, right? Your survival, your housing, your food, everything that you need to survive. If a teacher does not have those basic needs, then how can we expect them to be the best version of what they are? And it takes a special person to be a teacher. So if they don't have those basic needs, they can't be the best teacher. They can't provide the best education for our students. And that is an issue.
That is an issue. Do you know what grade we have right now for Brevard County as far as the district is concerned? Is it an A school?
Yes, Brevard County is now rated in A school.
Okay, all right, good. I
Well, an
just
A district. Sorry.
that is what I was trying to get to. Now, so Palm Bay itself is increasing in size, and we are seeing the numbers growing crazy. I mean, I think we're up to 141,000 right now residents in the city of Palm Bay, and so we ever increasing. We're bursting the seams, Amber. And one of the things that we constantly are facing right now is I'm hearing allegedly, I'm hearing rumors that in some areas we're overcrowded. There's a lot more students than teachers. The student to teacher ratio is not looking promising. What are we going to do as far as expanding our schools in Palm Bay in general right now? Because Palm Bay is the largest city.
Yes, it is. And I was at a school board meeting, and it was actually not a school board meeting. It was a parent leadership team meeting because I'm also a part of that. Um, there was a map for the district, and Palm Bay was beyond red. It was almost black with the number of students that we have that are in our area due to the building that our city has allowed. We are in desperate need of more public schools. We do not need any more charter schools. We need public institutions because every child has the right to a free education. Um, I I know that there's talk about getting a new middle school somewhere in Palm Bay, but I believe that we need more than just one school.
Okay. All right. Um, I know there's one that's being promised down by the Heritage Parkway, down by Bapa. I think there's one being promised for that area at some point. I'm not sure when that's going to be coming to fruition, but I know there's one being promised down that end. Um, let's keep going. So let's talk about CTE programs. So you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Okay, career and technical education programs is something that um, is a passion of mine. I'm actually a professor, and a lot of people don't know this at the college in New York, but I work from home. And one of the things that I come across is that a lot of the um, adults in later life have to go back to school to enhance their skills and become something else. What can we do at an early start in Brevard County to ensure that our students have the skill set they need in order to achieve a promising job at some point in time, and when they get down in high school? Um, and that's one part of my question. And also, what would you do to we have Kennedy Space Center right here. So what would you do to ensure that we have programs that can, fall right in line with the Kennedy Space Center to move those students over there potentially? So those are my thoughts on that. What are your response?
Okay. So our CTE program, Brevard County has probably the best in the nation for career technical education courses. We do offer some great programs. I wrote a few down. We offer engineering, cybersecurity, space mechatronics, robotics. And I'm probably forgetting some that have to do with our space industry. But we do offer programs, but what we don't offer is the accessibility to all of our Brevard County students. One of the things that I really wish to work towards is expanding our transportation. And if we can't do that, then we at least need to have multiple facilities that have these classes that maybe we can do short bus transportation. Right now, our students are completely relying on their parents to take them. So let's look at the demographic for South Brevard. Maybe there's a lot of parents that have to work a few jobs, because of the pricing of the houses, right? Rent is expensive. House insurance is expensive. So a lot of people have to pick up extra jobs. Therefore, the child that has the passion for engineering or robotics or even learning about the airplane hangar that's in Algali, If they want to do that program, they have to rely on their parents. We don't provide transportation. That is an issue. We should be either having multiple facilities or providing transportation. I do also want to take a moment and talk about a program that Anthony and I had the opportunity to help chaperone last year at our daughter's elementary school, and that was the STAR-based program. I had never heard of that program before. It was our first experience, and it was amazing. If I wish I could explain to you the fire in the eyes of the children that when they were playing on the computers and saw what 3D printers were capable of, and exploring with the CAD programs and building robots and programming them. They have the desire to do all of these things, but there is a disconnect from elementary to high school. If I was a millionaire, I would be buying them all sorts of books and educational material that I could, because they have a craving for it. So that is one thing that I think we need to work on, is the disconnect between elementary school to high school, because it seems like we're taking care of them in high school besides providing transportation. We have to fill in the gaps.
Didn't we get late one time because I was playing still and the bus was late getting back from the school? I had more fun than the kids did, I think. Okay, let's just put it that way.
I'm sure I have some pictures.
Yeah, transportation is I mean, Brevard County is a very elongated county the way it's set up. And then my other problem is when I studied the issue is you have one school over here having one set of program, and then the students are interested in that program, but they are living way over yonder at a different location and they can't get to it. Like like you said, it's like, how do we balance that Bayside may be offering XYZ program and the students over in Titusville may be saying, "Oh man, that's the career part I want to go down. That's exactly what I want to be. Why can't I have access to that program?" And
Exactly.
so those are the kind of things that I'm seeing, and we need to find a way to bridge that gap.
And Kevin, this might also translate into the state house where, I could advocate for more funding for our local transportation system to, there are places all over our country that offer college kids, high school students, free transportation to programs if they have their ID cards, and they get to these programs that matter. We need to get the kids that need these programs to these programs.
Exactly. All right. Charter schools, Amber. What is your stance on charter schools and in Brevard County, and how do you believe they should be regulated to ensure quality education for all students?
Okay, so charter schools. I know at one point in time, charter schools were designed to fill a need. I am not okay with for-profit charter schools, or for schools that portray themselves to be a better option than what our public schools are. Because when it comes down to it, they're not. Children leave our public schools. Their funding goes with them, so they go to a charter school. Let's say they have a learning disability, and that school's main goal is what their grade is. So if a child is not provided the services that they need because the school is saying that they can't do that, which, by the way, is against the law, but now you have a parent who has taken their child out of one school, put them in a new environment, told that they can't be provided those services, and now they have to move their child again. And then they have to go up against this Goliath of a company, and they may not have the ability to do that. So they don't take it to the steps that they should be, as far as the state level. And there are programs, there's actually a process that several parents have reached out to me and said, what can I do about this? And I give them the information and I say, these are the people that you need to talk to, tell your story. So I understand that the creation of charter schools were to fill a need. but not at the expense of our public education, because now that charter school has received the funds, our tax funds, and that child is back into our public institution. So now we have to pay for that child twice, because our BPS schools, they won't say no. They will provide the services.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about discourse in public meetings. You've seen the meetings over the last several years. They're quite contentious to say the least.
Yeah.
Um, and so there have been many concerns about the tone and the manner in which school board meetings are and how they're held, and the members, how they act on the dais. How do you plan to foster a respectful and productive atmosphere during such meetings? And what measures would you implement to ensure that public discourse remains civil and inclusive?
I would say probably the biggest issue that our school board has faced is bringing politics into the decision-making process. It When you have a school board member up on the dais and they have Moms for Liberty cup, that's insinuating that that's where their ideas come from. I don't believe that that is appropriate. Politics need to stay out of our schools. They need to stay out of the decisions that we make for our children. There isn't a side that has the right answer. And I believe we have to work together and we have to come up with the best solution. It doesn't matter where the idea came from, but what matters is that we need to follow the data. We need to do the research. We need to make a responsible decision, not have outside influences dictate what we do. As far as decorum on the school board, I am a big believer of you get the respect that you dish out. So it is okay to disagree, and you can disagree with somebody in a respectful manner. I am not okay with board members catcalling public commenters. I am not okay with the side conversations. If you have something that you need to say it in your microphone. And if you can't say it in your microphone, then you probably shouldn't be saying it out loud. So.
Thanks for your response. Many, no, let me not ask that because I'm going to go down a rabbit hole with that question. Let me leave that part alone. Year-round schools. Do you believe? I know there's a pilot program that has been launched, right? Challenger, I think, and which one is it? Wyoming? Is it Wyoming Park Elementary? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Also in Marion County, that have started this pilot program to a year-round school schedule. Is this something that you would advocate for? And I guess the aim is to reduce learning loss during the extended summer break. And what are your thoughts? So, what are your thoughts and your views on this?
So the year-round schooling, I have not looked at the data to see if that is an appropriate option. I know some parents are really put off by the all year-round schooling. I know some parents like it. So I think that should be a choice that parents have. Maybe we have just some schools offer it and we have some schools stay the traditional schedule. I don't think that it's been around long enough, at least in our district, with it just starting, to really know the impact of the positive and the negative without looking outside of our district and looking at research. I'm sure that there's probably a cost associated with that. And so I would be interested in knowing how that's getting funded. But yeah, I would need to do more research on that before I can make a sound opinion.
Okay, great. I have another question for you, but I will ask it at the end when I act, before I wrap up with Anthony, because the both of you can opine on this question, and it has to do with TikTok. But it's a fun question.
Uh-oh.
So we'll get to it here in a second. It has to do with free speech and TikTok. So we'll talk about that in a second. So with that said, I will give your closing thoughts will be coming at the end after I finish with Anthony. So I'm going to get to Anthony right now. So Anthony, this is your opportunity to introduce yourself to the audience, sir. And I know you have run for this office before, um, and and so folks are knowledgeable about you and who you are. But reintroduce yourself to those who may be watching this video at a later time, to as to who you are. So I'm going to remove myself from the screen, and I'm going to give you a couple minutes here to do that.
Perfect. Kevin, first, thank you for putting this on. I've watched many of your Palm Bay Live videos, and you've been doing an incredible job with them. And we need more people like you who care about the local issues. And so thank you. My name is Anthony Yantz, and I am running to be District 33's next state representative. I did run for this seat against the notorious Randy Fine, and we did have and hit a road bump. But you know what? Campaigning never stopped. We kept going. I'm a realtor along with my wife, and we found a passion in helping first-time home buyers get into their own homes and invest in themselves. As Amber said, we have 5 amazing kids. I call them the children of the corn. They are beautiful, stressful, and everything that we need in life. And we couldn't be more proud of them. We have animals, lizards, and whatever else makes its way into our homes in the evening time. And we care about our community. And I'm, as I said, I am running to be the state representative for District 33 because for too long, we've had no representation that helps our citizens. Instead, we've had representation that hurts our citizens. We've had representation that divides us, not unites us. And we've had representation that doesn't focus on the person that lives in our community, but rather the special interests. And we're no millionaires. We're everyday people. And I'm running for this seat, and I never stopped running for this seat. And I earn votes every single day because the people know who we are and why we're doing this. So that is why I'm running. And I look forward to hearing more of your questions.
Thank you, sir. And audience, I think this is going to be a fun interview based on the way he introduced himself. So don't hesitate. Hit that like button. Hit that share
Smash
button.
it.
Smack it. Let's go.
Smash it.
Because I think his responses to my questions is going to be fun too. It's going to be entertaining, I think. So let's go. You're facing Vernon Anderson in the primary.
Yes.
How do you differentiate from him, sir? What make you unique compared to him?
Yeah, so I've met Vernon many times and love the guy. He seems like a really nice person in our community. And I would have to say, and his wife as well, and all of his volunteers and his family. And it's great that they want to be involved. And I have nothing against that. That's why we live in the greatest country on the face of the earth. And also the greatest city on the face of the earth. And I think maybe I should give our current mayor some kudos for that. I don't know. Maybe I won't do that. But what sets me apart is that I want everybody at my table. What sets me apart is that I'm able to find relatable aspects to the issues that are going on in our everyday lives. Okay. I make connections. I build rapport. And I think we do that naturally with within the real estate industry. We don't focus on politics within the real estate industry. We focus on the real issues. And so I want to focus on the real issues here. And I'm the type of person that will add you to my family when you get to know us. And that's how we are. And so I want to take that to the State House because I think what we need is unity. And I'm not saying Mr. Anderson can't provide that, because on a lot of things, him and I both agree. But I think it's time for somebody different than what we're used to.
All right, sir. And speaking of which, Mr. Fine has been in the media lately doing a number of things. And
Okay.
one of them, allegedly, today I saw a response on X, Twitter, where he agreed with a commenter, and basically stated that he is of the view that if children was hiding in a school building, it's okay to, bomb that area. I think you saw that tweet.
Yeah, I did see that. Unfortunately, I don't see a lot of the stuff that he posts unless somebody sends it to me, because I have been Kevin Bacon removed 7 times over from him and all of his little minions. But I will say he's ridiculous for saying things like that. There's no need for that. Again, and as my wife said earlier, we can all disagree respectfully. I don't condone that type of behavior, though, and I would never say something like that. Although I might say that there's an island that I'd like to sell him, and that he can move to it. Epstein Island is really what I meant to say. That's probably all I'll say for that.
Okay. So, yeah, I have to compose myself, sir.
Sorry.
Healthcare, sir. Let's move along. One of your key platforms is championing comprehensive healthcare access, including reproductive health and abortion. Can you elaborate on your plans to improve healthcare access in District 33?
Oh, absolutely. So listen, at the end of the day, we all have a right to the well-being of our own bodies. Okay. Abortion is healthcare. When a woman has to make that tough decision to end a pregnancy, it's not something they're happy about. Okay. That's a tough decision. And that decision is solely reliant on them, their faith, their family, their doctor. End of story. No politician belongs inside of somebody else's body. And that's that. When I got to the State House, I would draft legislation to backtrack all of the damaging legislation that our governor has been working on to suppress women all over our state. And frankly, the rest of our country would suffer as well, because, again, abortion is healthcare. And if we shut that down completely here, it will become unsafe. And we need to make sure we are offering safe healthcare for women.
All right. What are your thoughts? I mean, I asked Amber this similar question earlier about the teacher shortage. We're losing a lot of teachers. And so I need to hear your viewpoint. Did you hear the question I posed to Amber earlier?
I did. I think I can pick it up.
Go ahead.
So listen, we live in an amazing space, the Space Coast. We have some amazing industries here. And one of the things I would like to do is champion getting more industries, especially in Palm Bay, because a lot of the folks that we talk to on a daily basis say it's not necessarily that we need more homes in Palm Bay. We need more businesses in Palm Bay, more industry in Palm Bay. And so that's what I would love to work on. I would love to figure out how we can strengthen Palm Bay and make it a hub for technology.
Hey, I have some ideas.
And
some
my
CTE programs.
And in line with that, okay, if we can create these, or if we can move these companies in and create these opportunities, inherently we're creating tech programs. We're creating internships for the local high schools. All of this gets our children excited about staying here in the Space Coast and continuing to raise their families here. That's what we need to work on.
Okay. Um, so affordable housing is a hot topic, and I need to hear your thoughts on it. Ending homelessness and increasing affordable housing are key parts of your platform. What
Mhm.
specific policies will you advocate for to achieve these goals, sir?
Right. So some of the things that I would like to say about homelessness first. Um, we have cities that would like to eliminate our services for uh, homelessness. Okay, they're living a fantasy world if they think that if they get rid of these programs, the homelessness will stop. That's not how it works. We need to have more services for people, not less. Okay. If one municipality gets rid of a homeless service center, the folks are just going to move to another or a different area. That doesn't solve the problem. Okay. What we need is more services. Truly affordable housing is hidden very cleverly within this uh, you know, home rule. And what we need is truly affordable housing. Okay. We can't allow contractors or builders, I should say, dictate what affordable means to the person because it's not affordable. And we know that. We see it, we hear it every single day. So we need truly affordable housing options for people in our area. And studies show all over our country when you have affordable housing options, that community thrives. And so, um, a component to that is that we need to protect our current homeowners as well from predatory companies that come in, especially after hurricanes, and they inflate the claims for insurance, and that all trickles down to the homeowner. Because if you think for 1 second the insurance company is going to take that on their backs, you're wrong. They are going to pass all of these big claims down to the people who have to pay for it. And we have to protect the homeowner. So I would help draft legislation that really protects our homeowners and our renters here.
Okay. All right. Green technologies. You said that you want to implement innovative green technologies in the district. Can you give me some examples of that, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. So my wife and I love to bring our kids to New York and all sorts of other places. And one of the things that I would like to do, and it's an interesting opportunity, but I think it's a very clever one. There are recycling and trash receptacles that have solar panels built into them and computers. And what they do is they inform home base, hey, this trash can is full. Hey, this recycling is full. And I think we do a couple things here. I think number one, we save time for our city workers who are already stretched so thin with the amount of jobs each municipality gives our city workers that they don't have time to stop at every single trash can to see if it's full or empty. So I think, why are we not using technology to our advantage? Why are we not using our solar to our advantage? And so that's just one of the things I would like to do, is to figure out how we can keep everything more clean while also keeping everything more efficient. And so basically it would let somebody know, hey, this trash can's full, or all of these trash cans are full on the beach, or this one's not, so they can skip that one. I mean, it's very simple. And that's just one little thing that we can do to save money, but also make money, because of the sides of these trash receptacles are advertising. And I see this as a big opportunity for our local businesses to advertise, not only to pay for these, the installment of these, but to maintain and to continue using them. In Palm Bay, I would love to see us figure out a solar field or solar panel production. We have, and again, that's industry and that's jobs, and that keeps people here, and it helps our local economy and environment.
Okay. All right. This question is for both of you. It has to do with book bans.
Uh-oh.
Oh. So book bans have been a contentious issue in Brevard County. Florida has recently been leading the nation in book bans with over 1,400 books removed from schools shelves during the 2022-2023 school year. These bans have been driven by new legislation and significant community involvement, particularly around books covering topics like race, sexuality, mental health. How do you view these book bans, and what is your stance on balancing parental issues with ensuring a comprehensive and inclusive education for students? Amber.
You want me to begin?
You can do, yeah, handle it.
Okay. So there are many different ways to talk about this. First aspect of it is Brevard County already had a process in place. If there was a book that you did not feel your child should have access to, it is your right as a parent to go into that media center, fill out the form. So if your child was to, I don't know, happen to pick up that book and actually want to check it out, they wouldn't be allowed to because you did your job as a parent. I don't believe that other parents should be making a choice on my child's education. If they feel that that is something that they want to restrict for their child, then they have the right to do that. But they don't have the right to do that for everyone's child. Let's talk about age appropriateness. So a lot of the books that were banned or that were put on the ban list, people were saying that they weren't age appropriate. They were not being found in elementary schools. There were just a few books that were found that shouldn't be in media centers. And that was handled. So we are already paying for media specialists. That already comes out of our budget. If we can't trust the people that we hire as the professionals that they should be, then why are we hiring them? Why are we paying for that job? Why do we have to spend more money, spend more time with committees and that whole mess? Why were we ever entertaining that in the beginning? And that's how fragile our system is. We allowed a group to come in and be loud, be the loudest ones in the room. And they turned all of this into such a big deal when they always had that right as a parent. That's definitely an issue, and that's something that we should be looking at and going ahead into the future, making sure that we have safeguards up in place where we can't have a hate group come in or an extremist group come in and cause such a mess. So we need to safeguard our policies.
Anthony, your
Yeah,
turn.
I mean, I'll echo a little bit of that. I think one of the things from a state level point of view is the people that are coming in here, most of them don't have kids in the school. These are people with nothing better to do, and they want to cause a problem for our teachers, and ultimately our kids suffer because of it. There were materials that were found to be suitable for much older children. Those were not found in K through 3 grades. These are talking points. And I personally don't entertain those talking points because it's not based in fact. Okay. This is based on political rhetoric, and that does not belong in our schools. If somebody wants to challenge a book, I would say that they need to read the book in its entirety and prove that they read the book, and to prove that it is damaging to someone who reads it. And then again, listening to Amber's idea, we have the schools have media specialists for a reason. We pay them because they are professionals. They are being asked by students to buy certain books, and they get certain books based on what the needs are. That's why we have them. Let them do their jobs, leave them alone, and go find something else to terrorize.
I
Okay,
feel like I want to add a little bit more to that.
go ahead.
So, if we can get a child engaged in reading and actually picking up a book, that is amazing. They have far more access to more damaging things on their cell phone that's in front of them that their parents give to them. Um, that's just it's common sense. It to restrict education because you're bored is just it's crazy.
No, it's insanity.
I'm putting it politely.
Okay, thanks for that. Um, let's now shift gears. Let's go back to that TikTok situation. Let me get my question queued up here so I ensure that I'm asking it correctly. So give me 1 second here. And I think you know where I'm going with this question. It has to do with the recent announcement as far as banning it, getting rid of it altogether, and free speech. So, what do you believe when it comes to free speech? As far as do you think TikTok should be banned? This is a fun question. Either one of you want to pick that up?
First. Okay. I don't think that TikTok should be banned because I've actually learned, some parent hacks, some mom hacks, some pretty good ones off of TikTok. And I was like, why didn't I ever think of that before? I think that it's a good platform for sharing information, for sharing ideas. Is there negative stuff on there? Of course, there's negativity everywhere you go. It's just it's whether you choose to listen to it or not, or feed into it. I think your whole what is the word I'm looking for? Your whole experience is what you make it on TikTok. So if it's full of hatred and misinformation, and you're not, doing the whole menu thing and saying you're not interested in that, then that's all you're going to get. You can kind of manipulate it and create it to be what you want and the things that you're interested in. At least that's my perspective of it.
Yeah, and it was really good. I'll say to add on to that is that no, I don't believe that we should be banning TikTok, and we shouldn't even be entertaining that idea because all of our cell phones that we carry around every day, we signed terms and agreement on there for them to track us as well. And so there are so many things that, Apple, Samsung, all of these companies track us every single day, and we allow it. And we are happy to have them do that because you don't read the terms and conditions and you sign away. And that's how that goes. Listen, free speech, I believe in free speech. But I also believe that if you're having the right conversations with your kids at home about the things that go on in this world every single day, and that we are teaching accurate history in our schools, and we are having those thoughtful conversations at home where it belongs with the parents and their own children, we're preparing our kids for the negativity that they might see on social media. Because at the end of the day, we are not protecting our kids from every little thing. And if you think a parent is able to do that, they are mistaken.
Okay. All right. Anthony, back to you, sir.
Oh, okay. All right.
Brevard has seen an astronomical increase in growth over the past years. How do you plan to work with the city and county officials to ensure that proper funding is there to make sure these projects keep up with the developing needs, such as the influx of the new residents that's coming?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go back to getting more businesses and industry in Palm Bay. I think that's a must. Okay. We need a place for these people that come and live here to work, and to learn and to have trade. And so I think that's what we need to focus on, working with the local municipality and the county to figure out strategic growth and how we get there. That's a multifaceted approach, and it's going to involve a lot of stakeholders to come to the table and to say, hey, I know we may be growing population wise, we need to start attracting more businesses here to help with that growth, to give these people a surviving chance and a job. And so I think that's what we need to do, is work together.
Okay. The state has been grappling with property insurance and issues, and we have all seen, if you're a homeowner like me, you've seen it just keep going up and up and up, right? And with significant increases in premiums and struggling market, what are your plans to address the property insurance crisis in Florida?
Yeah, so I touched on this a little earlier. We do need to protect our renters and our homeowners here. One of the reasons I believe we have a lot of insurance companies boogieing out of Florida is because they don't want to take that chance here. They don't want to write the policies here. And one of the major reasons I see is because we have companies that come in after disasters and they overinflate claims. And as I said, when all these companies and businesses come in and say, oh, you need a new roof, sir. Okay. You have hail damage when there hasn't been hail here in years. Okay. And they say you need a new roof and you only have to pay us $700, but your insurance will eat up the rest. Well, guess what? The insurance is going to go and turn around and raise the premiums on the homeowners. And that has happened too long here. We need to stop that. We need to protect our homeowners from predatory practices that ultimately lead to insurance companies leaving. And
Right.
so I think once we stop that, and we get more insurance companies to come back in here to Florida and write policies for our homeowners, that'll create decrease in prices and premiums.
Okay. To the both of you, let's ask this. What would you do to engage the community as far as public forums, etc.? How would you go about that? Amber, start with you.
So I'm actually working on a very exciting new project. One mother and myself are starting a PTO, the very first PTO at Stone Magnet Middle. We are very excited to invite all of the parents to join us and the community members to join us together and just, act like a village and take our schools under our wings and help them thrive. We're talking about our future generations, and that needs to be most important to everybody. We need to work together as a community and help support our children. And if this program is successful, then my wish is to expand it to other schools that are in South Brevard. I see needs that not everybody knows about. Pantries that are in our schools. We need food donations. We need clothing donations. If you have clothes from your children that don't fit anymore, instead of giving them, to Goodwill, and just them selling them, donate them to a school. Ask the school if there's something that they need. I can guarantee you every school has a wish list. They have a list of needs. And that will be my main focus when, if I do get elected to the school board, that will be one of my main focuses, is to connecting parents in the community to help our schools out.
Anthony, how would you engage it?
I can't follow that, Kevin. I don't know. I'm sorry. No, I think one of the important things to understand is being accessible to the constituents, I think, is key. I've made it abundantly clear since day one during the last election, I've been accessible. People know my number inherently. It's all over the internet. You can call me, text me, instant message me. I make myself available to the people because I do want to hear what they've got to say. And that matters to me. Holding rallies, community events, those are all things that my wife and we try to do as a family. We did Yantz Spooktacular, where we put on a Halloween event. Okay. We're 2 years into it, and this
is our third year.
This will be our third year. Creating free events and getting the community to come back together. That's what I want to do. Use my influence and
Okay.
power
Yeah.
at the State House to get all of us together and have barbecues.
Because at the
I
end
hear
of the
you, sir.
day, it doesn't matter what
It doesn't.
party you belong to. What matters is being a community and coming together and just sharing ideas. Because that's how we are the strongest, is together.
Unity.
Gotcha. Community. I haven't seen any questions from the community, but
No questions from the community?
nothing. There's no question.
Kevin.
Yeah, everybody must love you, brother. Here we
Electrified.
go.
Woo!
They probably already know the answers to all your questions. They probably asked all your questions already. So here we go. I'm gonna give you the opportunity, both of you, to give your closing remarks. And so I'm gonna remove myself from the podium here in a second, and you are just gonna starting this ladies first, as as usual. So Miss Amber, you're gonna take it away. You can tell the audience where they can find you, how they can pose questions to you after this discussion is over, and how they can, if they want to, contribute to your campaign, and where your next series of events may be happening, and if they want to show up there and voice their questions there as well. So take it away, and same thing to Anthony. As after she's finished, you just go ahead and do your closing as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to share with the community on how you can reach out to me, and then I'll do my closing statement. So my website for my campaign is yantzforschools.com. My email is the same, yantzforschools@gmail. My phone number is all over the internet, and if the trolls can find it, I'm sure you can, because they have. If you would like to donate to my campaign, every donation, no matter how small, adds up. But don't feel like you have to donate more than $1,000, because that is your maximum. So that's pretty much how you can reach me. So my closing statement is, I am the furthest thing from a politician, as I'm sure you could probably tell from this interview. I am first a mom, and I have a heart for children. I have a heart for all children. They are my main priority, and doing that, yeah, I'm willing to put aside my professional and focus more on the children, because that is our future generation. They are what matters the most. So I am asking for your vote this August. My race will be determined in August. I will not be going to November. I will be over with in August. And my biggest hope is for Brevard. Let's make 2024 the year that we take education back from the politicians.
My name is Anthony Yantz. Oh, I'm sorry.
Somebody just posted her website for the school. Is right there for the audience who wants it. So go ahead, Anthony. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. So my website, standwithyantz.com. Facebook is Stand with Yantz. My TikTok is at Anthony Yantz, which is exciting if you follow me on TikTok. And you can donate through my website. Look, we're everyday people. We care about our community. We had a funny thing happen to us a few months ago. Someone says, "Are you the Yantzers?" Because we have the answers. Yantzer, just add an ERS somewhere. We love our community, and we are doing this together because we want to make our community better. And so I do have a primary election in August. I hope I earn your vote and your support, and know that our doors are open and we're here. So thank you.
Thank you both for appearing on the platform tonight with me. It's been a pleasure. You have me laughing to my bed tonight, sir.
Oh, okay.
I can imagine your household is full with joy every day.
Oh yes, that's one way to put it.
It's never dull.
It's
It's
never
never
dull.
I can imagine. So I again thank you for showing on the platform. I want to wish you guys the best in
Thank
your
you.
campaign. Remember, audience, August 20th is the primary, and so they have offered themselves up for election for the different seats, school board and state rep for Mr. Yance. And so it's up to you now. The ball is in your court, whether or not you choose to select them for your candidates for the different seats. And so vote as you may. I can't tell you how to vote. I know how I'm going to vote, but I can't tell you how I'm voting. And but they will tell you how they want you to vote. So it's totally up to you to make that decision at this point in time. Thank you for joining me again this week for another set of interviews. I won't be having any more interviews for this week. There's a very important meeting on Thursday night for the city of Palm Bay that everybody's going to be eyeing. So I decided to cancel that meeting that interview that I had for Thursday night because I know a lot of folks may be showing up to the council meeting or maybe watching that meeting online. Um, for the city of Palm Bay. And I will let you know when the other, well, definitely I will be having more interviews the following week. And I will be posting them on Facebook and YouTube as to when those meetings will be occurring. And I hope you can join me. And I hope you will continue to support me and the work that I'm doing. And have a great night. Have a great rest of the week. God bless.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.